me see what the volume is. Should be alright, man. Testing 1 2 1 2. 1 3 1 3. Bad man are player number 2. You hear me?
You don't notice it?
Yeah, I know. So you start trying to walk.
Yeah.
Are we ready? We good to roll?
Rolling. Content over everything. Alright.
Jeez.
Okay, welcome to another Our Corner. Alright, so today we're going to talk about criminology. Yeah, we're going to talk about the cause and effect of crime within the black community. Now, obviously, crime is something that happens in all communities. Because it's Our Corner, we're going to focus on crime, particularly in the black community. Alright? And obviously, we're going to chime in and people are welcome to jump in. So who wants to set off? What is the cause and effect of crime? What causes it?
Sugar.
Cause and effect.
The cause and effect. I think let's start off with the cause of what causes crime within inside of the black community, and then afterwards we'll deal with the effects of the crime.
Alright, so let's with cause. All
So,
right. Go.
Alright. So number one, the cause of crime. The cause of crime in the black community. There's two ways of looking at it.
Right.
The first way is actually being, taking responsibility for your actions.
Alright.
So anything that happens, if there's crime within inside of the black community, the buck lands with the person itself. Yourself. So you make the decision to actually perpetuate a crime. Okay. The second way of looking at it as well is from external factors. So what are the external factors that are how can I put it, inspiring you or motivating you to perpetuate a crime itself? I can't remember, old school, we used to do this in criminology, like old school back in the day, where there were certain crimes which are opportunist crime. And there's other things which you've been doing such a long time that it just becomes natural to you as well. So usually it's to do with, like, I don't know if you know about the broken window effect.
Let us know.
Broken window effect, yeah? So basically...
Did you study criminology formally?
Nah,
Informally.
Informally but formally.
Google search.
Yeah,
Okay.
Informally but formally. It's one of those ones, yeah, when you go to university, but you're surrounded by so many beautiful individuals, right? I'm talking about women,
Yeah, I know. I realized. I didn't want to say, but I realized.
But you had the little study sessions.
And our sister was studying criminology.
You know the way it's there.
You walk into the lecture, you know what I mean?
Boy,
I know.
I'll say the private lecture.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, the private lecture, all right? Sometimes after you have the fun, you have to sit down and let your brain get stimulated. You know the way it's there. All right,
so that's kind of fun still.
So there's something called the broken window effect or theory or whatever it's called, yeah? Where if you live in a neighborhood where there are certain things that are broken, okay? Yes, come true. Yeah, there's certain things that are broken and it's not being fixed. Right. It encourages more of the same thing. So there's one broken window. Somebody be like, right, they're not looking after it. Second broken window. It's like an abandoned, what seems to be an abandoned car. Right. It looks abandoned. You're like, all right, it's abandoned. Nobody don't care if I break the window now. Right. And that's what kind of encourages to continue. That's what happens inside the black community. Right. It seems as though that things aren't as pretty as in other society or other neighborhoods. Right. And then we don't care about it itself. You think what I'm saying? It's like living inside of a house or you're sharing accommodation. And if one person don't care about the kitchen, right, they leave it in a mess and you keep tidying it up, but you see that they don't care. After a while, you stop caring. Because you're like, right, it don't make no difference anyway. If you don't care, I'm not going to care. And it just perpetuates it as well. But now, chime in. Don't let me just talk all the time.
Right. So you were talking about the causes of crime, right?
Yes.
And one thing you're saying is you actually spoke about criminals taking responsibility for the crime, and then you talked about the broken window effect. Yeah. But is there a bigger narrative there? Like, what is happening? Why are you committing crime? So there's particular kind of crimes where I'm assuming it's a financial gain, right? Yeah. Right? So what is happening where you feel you need to do that to get financial gain? One would assume that your financial circumstances isn't too good.
Yeah. Right? So opportunities. So there may be a lack of opportunities or progression or social mobility.
Right.
So there ain't nothing that I can do. I can't get into corporate world or whatever the case is. Right. Like what is my surroundings? How do we get money in my surroundings? Right. So there might be one man doing a certain thing and you realize, I can get in where I can fit in. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So usually we don't seem to have that type of opportunity. That's one way of looking at it. Right. Second way of looking at it is that we tend not to be educated. Okay. Or we tend not to like the educational system because the education is the key for us to actually make more money. Okay. You think what I'm saying? But a lot of us we can't fit in with the education system yet again. Right. So we're fitting in with another form of education where we can make more money on the street level.
Right. I'm gonna address it from a more metaphysical perspective here, so to speak, right? And when I say that, I don't mean like spiritually metaphysical. I just mean in terms of the idea of what is crime and what is a criminal and what is criminal. yeah. And so I'm doing that because I learned a word from S1E7 when I was young, yeah. And he crimogenics, right? And he said that we live in a crimogenic society, so that the society itself is criminal, and so therefore it creates crime, it facilitates crime at a certain level. And then within that study, he uses the term the structuration, yeah, of crime. And so basically what he's saying is that at different levels of the society, people behave differently in relation to this idea of crime. And so the basic example that he gives is an accountant, yeah, who knows how to move money around doesn't need to knock an old lady upside the head and steal her purse. Yeah, it would be ridiculous because he has access to P. Yeah, so he just does it differently. It doesn't make him any less of a thief.
Yeah.
It just means that he does it differently. Yeah. So the structuration. So basically, your opportunities are what kind of validates or structures whatever the type of crime is that you engage in. Yeah. But then on this level of the society that in which we live, we have a ruling elite that is able to legitimize crime.
Right.
Yeah? Okay. So that they make criminal activity. You can commit crime without being held accountable for it, whilst holding others accountable for criminology or for crimes. You see what I'm saying? So in our community, because of the fact that our entire existence in this society has a history, yeah, and is based upon a relationship, yeah, between ourselves and our ancestors and the society in which we live and how it was developed, yeah. So crime in our community is inextricably linked to that reality. And I'll just give one example and then I'll hand it over. But for example, and we've heard this saying before that we don't make guns and we don't make the drugs, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they're in our communities, yeah. And so how did they get in there? And the reality is that when we trace it back, there's an example, for example, of the fact that I live in East London, and in the 80s there was a thing called Operation Jackpot, whereby the police from Stoke Newington police station were found to be facilitating drugs and prostitution in the black community in Hackney. This was being run by the police, proven, yeah. And this was in the 80s. So before that point, we never had a crack cocaine epidemic, yeah, in the black community. It didn't exist. It didn't exist.
UK.
Yeah, I'm saying so I was born in the 80s. So when my generation was coming of age, a lot of us got into that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my brothers got into that. You know what I'm saying? And as you were saying, opportunity. Certain men are doing this. Yeah, the older boys were doing it. The younger boys got involved in the thing. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that it's not an environment that we created for ourselves. Yeah. At the same time, communities that are self-respecting don't allow for certain things. Yeah. Even when they're engaging in crime. So there are certain communities that engage in crime, but they account for the criminal activity having a negative impact upon their community. And so there is something to be said for the fact that much of the crime that we engage in has a negative impact upon our own community. That's what I'm saying. So we have to account for that also. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Beefy, you want to jump in?
My thing, I think the problem lies where most black kids, you can't make mistakes as teenagers. Once you make mistakes as teenagers, you're punished for life. Whereas other people, they're allowed to make mistakes, do this, become drug, and they get all the help they want and all the help they need to succeed in life. Yeah. Where we as a community, we're prevented from doing that.
Yeah. So are you saying something like, in the black community, it's like we're playing cricket, and it's like one hit, you're out, but in other communities they might play baseball.
Yeah.
And free strike, yeah. So we're playing the wrong game again.
So once you're a criminal from teenager, just for this silliness, you're banned for life. There's no way out. Wherever you go, you're a criminal now.
Yeah.
More like chess.
So again, what is the cause of crime? Is it external or is it internal?
The cause of crime, because crime is subjective to the laws. So it's the laws and the social climate around them laws, how easy it is to perform within the parameters given, yeah, with the resources that are available, yeah, and the information available. So you could say it's poor information, but it could be the fact that the survival instinct is strong, so strong in a certain set of people. When the rules are set with a certain small diameter of wiggle room, the survival instinct often is bigger than what the lines of the law are, and then you get this blurring. Yeah? And often, like we said, if we're dealing with theft, the highest thefts, the biggest thefts are labelled white-collar crimes. Yeah.
get less sentences, get less time in prison.
The biggest they call things embezzlement. Yeah, they get,
as opposed to teething.
Yeah, they get sexy names. They use sexy language, and the paradigm, the way that people look at the offenders is very much different. Even the way they're treated, they will go straight to an open jail and whatnot. Yeah, and where these low-level criminals, and they are actually low-level criminals, they're treated with the most. They're given the most. They're the highest priority. So low-level criminality is given the highest priority in policing, yeah? And so that just continues to fuel the prison system, which in itself is just generating money. So when we can look at this, we can see, okay, this system is set up in a certain way that it's like I had my DNA taken when I was 11 years old. Do you know what I mean? I had my fingerprints taken when I was 11 years old, yeah? And the way that they set it up is so that the next thing you do, when anything happens, have you ever been stopped by the police before? Yeah. Have you ever been in trouble by the police before? Now that gauges how he's going to deal with you and how far he's going to go forward with it, yeah? And then they build this case against you and they criminalise youngsters that just need outlets, yeah? And I know people feel like, oh, victim mentality, we got bad youths on road, don't get me twisted. These youths are bad. But I'm trying to understand what is making these kids bad, yeah? Is it the fact that they just want to be bad? Or is there something going on in our society that is fueling these poor decisions that kids are making, yeah? What is it?
I would say that as a community, we don't have the protective measures within our community to protect our children from the society at large. Yeah, and I think that's the primary thing. Yeah. So we're open to
no defences.
We don't have no defence or enough defences, and so our children become. I say our children like it weren't me, but I don't mean me as an individual, but us as a collective, as a generation. Yeah, become. There's a saying that if you don't initiate the children into the village, they'll burn it down just to feel its warmth. Yeah. So we're burning down the village basically because we were initiated into the village. Yeah. And I think that's basically it. We're living in a society whereby we're open to attack, and there are things put into our environments deliberately that are designed to degrade our environment.
Can we get into them, please, so that people don't think we're just someone might never have heard this argument. Yeah?
First we're dealing with the cause.
Yeah, we're doing
okay. But in everything, I want some detail though.
Yeah, would that be part of the cause though? Like what is in our environment that is?
Yeah, I thought that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
But I'm saying rather than skip over it, can we like?
Yeah, I think I mentioned the crack cocaine thing a while ago. You know what I'm saying? I think one of the major things that we haven't mentioned yet is the education system. I think that's probably one of the major ones. Yeah, I think that we've had a number of generations in this country that were negatively affected by the education system. Yeah. So our grandparents, then our parents, and then us. Yeah, in terms of this idea of the school to prison pipeline and them kind of things there. But I feel like I don't feel like we've had a generation that has had a positive experience with the system that is meant to create affluence and economic and social mobility in our community. Just what I'm saying, I don't think it's ever produced a substantial amount of people that are economically mobile from within our community. The question is that the fault of the system itself or us? Yeah, you know what I'm saying, in terms of our engagement with the system.
Us first. Once we're blameless, then we can now look at outside forces. And that sounds a bit weird because I'm always advocating looking at the system. And it is the system. Don't ever get it twisted. But the system can only have the system can only have that level of control or influence, or society can only if we allow it. So we're back to consent again. So this is why I have to say, look, we have to look at ourselves first. We spoke about education earlier with the other white guy that was here, and even from a white man, he's saying the education system is failing our children because it's not teaching them to be critical thinkers or to actually perform to a higher degree. It's not teaching them that. It's teaching them conformity and regurgitation, yeah, which is a valuable tool if you want to just. Unfortunately for our kids, we may need a little bit more support than that. Do you know what I mean? We may need a little bit more tools in the.
Maybe my brother who unofficially and officially studied criminology, yeah, might be able to speak to this. You know what I mean? So let's think back to them, them late nights that you was having. Yeah. All right, but because there's an idea about how crime is created in a society when the society creates an underclass, yeah? So if you look at, like for example, the Irish in America, for example, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, or like when all of us grew up on these Italian mafia movies, yeah, and all that is based upon the idea that these people were placed into an underclass, yeah, within the society in which they lived. This is what I'm saying. And then there's Run the Jewels, Killer Mike, the MC, yeah, who said that basically every community in America that has come to a certain level has had their criminology, yeah? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you look at the Kennedys and that, and they were big, yeah? They're crime family, fully crime family, yeah? And then they became all up in the American political elite and them kind of things there, just what I'm saying. So I would say that as far as what I was saying before, when we look at, there's a book by the name of, by a brother called Bernard Cord, called How the Black Child is Made, the West Indian Child, he said, is made educationally subnormal by the British education system. And he spoke about that generation, what was it, in the 70s, yeah? But he spoke about how a whole generation of black children were condemned to what they call SEN, or educationally subnormal schools or classes, for things like speaking with a West Indian accent, yeah? And them kind of things there. So that generation of young people that became parents were already a social economic underclass, because they didn't come out of school with the grades to be able to make themselves affluent in society, and so therefore raise children that were in certain areas like Brixton and Tottenham and Hackney and them kind of things there, and that facilitated a particular environment, yeah, among those children who were already began to be criminalized by the police and them kind of things there, you know, yeah, you just what I'm saying. So it seems to me that there's a direct relationship between your social standing as an over or underclass and your level or the level of criminality in your community. Does that make sense? I don't know if that rings any bells in the studies that you've done. Maybe, you know?
Trying to bring me into it now. I'm stepping back. So again, I'm just thinking, right? Are we in agreement that it's either externally related or internally related?
I mean, it's both options, sure.
Or is it both?
It's both. It has to be both.
Yeah.
Both. It has to be both.
Because I'm struggling right now. Because
I would say both.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I would say fueled by the external.
Yeah, it's
but
fueled.
That's the catalyst.
We can only say that's not the case.
Yeah.
If the dynamics that are fueling this primarily come from within and not without. And I don't think that we can make that claim. Exactly. I don't think we can say there's an inherent problem with us and our community that is facilitating this thing outside of the context of the external forces that have an impact upon our community. If we were protecting ourselves and still manifesting this thing, then we could say, do you know what, this is something. However, whatever the case, if there is a lack of protection, then it is our responsibility to provide that protection. If there is a lack of, you know what I'm saying?
And unfortunately, the symptoms are now self-manifesting now. Anyway.
They're self-perpetuating. We can't say that. We can't say that. It's self-perpetuating.
The question is there enough economic opportunities for all black people in the UK where we do not need to participate in crime?
Yes and no.
I would say no, because we haven't created enough.
Yeah.
So no. That would only be the case once we have created it. They're not just going to be there.
Yeah, if you're talking about working for someone else, then that's a different thing. But if you're talking about something that you produce yourself, then that's yet to be done.
Yeah.
And that is one of the problems, as in like training people to actually create business opportunities.
Again then? It goes back to externally then?
That will more like.
The thing is, I don't want to, because there is not a dichotomy between the internal and the external, in the sense of the fact that if there is a system designed to produce a certain thing out of your community, it is an act of taking responsibility to identify that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not with the idea that we say that it's not the system, and we say it's not the system because we want to take responsibility. No, we take responsibility for identifying the nature of the society in which we live. Yeah. It is irresponsible to act like that doesn't exist. Yeah. That's an act of irresponsibility.
Yeah.
I am not going to teach my children. Yeah. That the society as it stands is designed to facilitate your economic development. Yeah. That's a lie. I'll be lying to my children, and that would be an act of irresponsibility. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't see a dichotomy between identifying the nature of the system and us taking responsibility.
I want us to look like not at ourselves, but externally. Like when we was growing up, let's just, for example, were there enough opportunities out there for all of our friends to make money, right? Where we didn't maybe not ourselves, the one to incriminate,
Yeah.
but where we didn't have to actually engage in criminality.
Yeah.
Because I think there really was opportunities out there, but we just wanted to make money another way.
Did they recognize those opportunities?
I think we all did.
You know,
I think we all did.
I was gonna say, I think there was, but like, you know, like since I've grown up a bit more, it seems like, oh, how come I didn't know about this situation? Instead of like obviously I met people that
This
put
is the
me
point.
on that kind of like information and stuff like that.
I feel like young people, it's not the responsibility of young people to define opportunities for themselves. Yeah? Elders
Exactly, that's what I was gonna
present
say, yeah.
opportunities to youth. Yeah, that's what a community is. Yeah? Anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what a community is. So if that is missing, go on.
Also, when we're talking about what was available
provided
to live in a
communities?
certain way, I think it was modest means that you
modest.
could reach,
Yeah.
and we all could reach modest means. Now this is where the sickness comes
Like
in.
anybody
Now, one
could get
second.
back that is
Yeah. Exactly, fam.
Yeah.
But this is where the sickness comes in of what? Materialism.
That's it.
Yeah. And
Right.
That's it.
we invented the materialism? Are we manufacturing and marketing the materialism to ourselves without anyone behind us pushing that?
Right.
No, we're not. So that materialism is what means that this means Callum's working him at these. Yeah, alright, cool. You got a little something, but.
Right. Now let me ask a question. Yeah, based on that exact what you just said. Yeah. Callum's working in MacD's. Yeah. You're on road. Yeah. Are Callum's MacD's values different to your on road values?
What do you mean?
So is what he's pursuing working in MacD's different to what you're pursuing on road?
Yeah.
Why is it? What's different?
Essentially,
What's
one,
different?
because I'm looking at him as subconsciously, if I go back to my mind, he's part of the system now. You know, he's just a worker. MacD's, he ain't really getting much fees.
Yeah, you're a boss.
Yeah.
All right. And your value is what now?
Progress.
Or even
Say
like
again?
one thing
Equal
my friend asked me.
progress.
He can progress.
Yeah, progress.
How many people?
We know the reality. We know the reality.
yeah.
But I'm saying the
Yeah.
perception
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
youth.
Ask me a question.
Yeah.
How many people do you know who have gone to work like in a job like McDonald's 9 to 5 all their lives and become a millionaire?
None.
None.
Well, no, actually, no. There is some.
I don't
know any. I don't know any. I don't know.
There was,
But then the same could be said for the other alternative job.
True.
yeah.
Right?
I would
millionaires-
say I see more success coming from those that chose alternative paths.
Well, he's
So
a
we're talking
millionaire.
about crime alternative paths.
Yeah, crime
I'm talking about
crime.
millionaires.
Yeah.
Right.
I think millionaires
That
might be
reached
too
the
high.
age of 50.
I would say that
One job, 9 to 5.
I would say
One
that
job,
the
9 to
only
5.
people I know
No,
that have reached
exactly.
millions have definitely dabbled in crime. Now, the way they dabbled in crime was different. Yeah, but I feel like most. a lot of it. Bro, let's be real, yeah? Because when we're talking about crime, street crime, robbery, you shot this guy, you stabbed that guy, blah, blah, blah,
Embezzlement,
shot
fraud.
in. But no. When we're talking about crime, yeah, even my mum did crime. Yeah?
Real talk.
Fiddle this and
Housing.
so you know, like boom, that crime.
Yeah.
Bro, I know someone that's
I'm not
he was
gonna be at
working
my
in
mum on the camera,
McDonald's.
but yeah, I get
He's
it, I
working
get
in
what you're saying.
McDonald's,
Yeah.
and signing on.
Yeah.
Why? To get that extra little.
That's crime. That is crime.
It's crime,
That is
bro.
a crime. That is a crime. Yeah.
Crime, bro. Not declaring something.
Yeah.
Not declaring that you got a youth
Housing,
staying here.
yeah.
Alright, that's all crime, you know.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm saying when I said my mum did crime because that's
Yeah,
what I said.
we know what you mean, we know what you mean,
It's
yeah.
the rules that make us look at these things as crime.
Real talk. I'm gonna say that the values are not different. Yeah. The values of MPs what were they, the scandal that they got involved in the other day, expenses, that thief their expenses. Yeah. It's not different from the guy on road that's shooting. Yeah. Their values are not different.
The punishment.
The punishment is different, but my point is that I don't see a difference in values between criminals and legally employed individuals necessarily. I don't see it. And this is why I say
I know where you're coming from.
They say criminals are just the ones that got caught, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, maybe so. But more what I'm saying is that I see that both are inherently pursuing the same thing. Yeah. So if materialism is the order of the day, right, and you've got a legal job, I've got an illegal occupation, but we're both pursuing materialism, our values are not different. Appreciably different. We're pursuing the same thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in a sense, it's just that one has gone about it in a way that the society has deemed as legal, and the other one is illegal. Yeah. But so my point is that then now you can have criminals that have a different value system based upon, for example, like when Africans in South Africa were blowing up buildings yeah, what's it called, and them kind of things there in an anti-apartheid movement, they were criminals, right? But their value system was appreciably different from the legality that they were working under. You know what I'm saying? So they're just because one is a criminal in a society doesn't mean that they're dealing with something different than the society itself. That's what I'm saying, isn't it? So if you buy a house with your money and you buy a house with your money, it don't mean that you're both doing the same thing. The values are the same. Now, where it might be different is if you might be prepared to kill for your thing. You might not be prepared to kill for your thing. That might be different.
Most people be
except for the
prepared
fact
to
that
kill
one
for
could
their
argue, if you're selling McDutties, you're killing people slowly. You know what I mean? One could argue that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm going somewhere different with that one. But yeah.
One's a risk taker, one likes security. That's how I would say.
I hear that.
I would say there's not much of a difference between a criminal on road doing certain activities versus an entrepreneur. There is not much of a difference there.
Entrepreneurs, isn't it?
Right? But versus the one that's working in a full-time permanent job.
Right. I hear that.
So what makes it more appealing?
What makes it more appealing?
Yeah. What makes the one
Freedom. It's about authority. It's about authority. It's about your relationship with authority.
Fast
Having people tell you what to do. A lot of people do try to have jobs, and it just doesn't work.
But then you get that same dynamic if you're working for a guy who's providing the stuff, and you have to. Do you know what I mean?
But like I said, even in today's modern British culture, they show you, that the big wigs, the entrepreneurs, the ones that are celebrated, never studied, dropped out of school, had dyslexia, got arrested, got into politics, got into that, and then just came up with one idea and blew with that, But it's showing you that ability to think of your face. What's that dynamically, often may look or take on an image of what is deemed as criminality. Do you know what I mean? Or delinquency. Do you know what I mean? But often what we're dealing with is, because of this curriculum in the society, for me, is setting a certain tone. Those that are born with a different frequency, so to get like airy-fairy, but those that are born with a different frequency have troubles adjusting and abiding by the lines, and inadvertently, it's their subconscious that is reacting to it. So then there might be a deeper inner rebelliousness, because subconsciously they know there's something wrong in society, and this is what makes it easier, or makes some people want to not conform to the laws, regardless of what they are. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that might be something that is genetic. There may be something to do with past experience, or just learnt behaviour that's passed down. But I do believe black people have got a spirit in them. Like they're just wilder, they're just freer. So it's harder for them to sit down in poverty and not think, nah, I'm gonna take that risk. I'm gonna try that. Otherwise I'm gonna sit here on my bum.
Well, let me ask a question then. Am I correct in thinking that criminality in our community seems to affect us more negatively than criminality does in other communities?
Criminality is marketed to us through our music, through this, through that, through stereotypes, through everything.
Right.
We're pushed into this counterculture where we go against the law, and then we know that 9 times out of 10 that ends wrong. But
why can't our criminality, for example, benefit our community? Why does it seem to have more of a negative impact?
That's a good question.
Because of the way that it's marketed. That shows you that it's not just all organic criminality, and it's more to do with it being pushed and marketed in a certain way.
And it's also, I think if people do become successful in that way of criminality, it might affect other societies. So there was a bit of fear, like, okay, if these people can do this, maybe we have to.
But I'm saying, I don't know too many like instances where like, you know, there's a generation of man them that are on this thing, but they're pushing their P towards building schools. You know what I'm saying? I've heard of man doing these things like on individual things. Right.
Individuals' needs, like, you know, or lacks. That's what it's not really based on.
Community-based, so it's about community-based crime, right?
Yeah.
So we do see it in the Italian
Right,
stuff.
we've seen it.
It's because we don't actually have a community. That's the problem. We have a pseudo-black community.
Right.
Dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So if we actually had a proper black community, we'd be living by a particular form, set of codes.
Right.
Even
we don't have codes.
Even those doing the fuckeries would be tapping in.
Right.
Jews have codes. The Asians have codes. The Italians, the Russians, everybody got codes.
Over there,
right?
the
We don't.
The good guys watch the bad guys' money.
Yeah.
There's
You
no
get
base
me?
or unity.
Over there.
No base, okay.
Yeah, no base or no unity.
Because I was gonna ask, like in terms of is it education that makes people successful, or is it community that makes people successful? Like the what I'm saying?
It's both. It's a bit of both, but more community though.
Yeah.
Come on, open up, man. Open up, man.
Open up for what?
Bad man, open up.
Bad man, open up. Open up for who? For what? For what? All right.
So this is the cause you're saying, yeah?
Yeah.
Do we want to go into the effect, or is that
Do you feel like the cause has been? Has been.
For me,
fully delved
the
into.
cause is to do with the own person's value system. That is simple. That's it.
What
Because
dictates the own person's value system? And
it's to do with the culture. So whatever your parents or whoever around you, your surroundings has actually acculturated you into or inculturated you into, you will never wave from it. Like I could put down like, I don't know, £1,000 there, yeah, and just drop it on the floor like it's like I've lost it. Next to like certain people, and I know for sure they're not going to take it because their code and their value system is completely different. But if I leave the £100 or £1,000 next to somebody who don't have the same code or the value system as me, I know that the potentiality of them taking it is very high. I can leave pork right now, like a nice big meal of pork right here, and I know certain Muslims will never ever touch that, but certain next man will touch it based upon their value system.
Why you touch me when you say that? No, what's it cool? But to be fair though, I'm kind of a stickler for this point at the moment. Yeah, I feel like we put ourselves into a force of security. The reality is that the product of our education doesn't produce anything better in our community either. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing the effect of having more university graduates and black people working in banks or becoming lawyers or doctors. I'm not seeing it having an appreciable positive effect on our community.
Again, because it's to do with the culture.
The culture,
like
right.
Again, like the system is doing what the system is supposed to do.
Yeah.
But if we see that other people are not adversely affected by the system, which is doing what it's supposed to be doing for everybody universally, it doesn't treat like the schooling system doesn't treat. Well, technically, it doesn't supposed to treat you different from an Asian person versus an Irish person or so forth. So what are they receiving at home that's making them a bit different? What's making that Chinese boy at home a little bit different than everybody else? You think what I'm saying? And again, it's to do with the culture. What are you being taught? What are you being taught at home?
But the question is, who's teaching our kids? That's a problem.
Because I know.
That is a question.
I know there's certain things that I would never ever touch. Drugs, robbery, anything like that, I would never ever do.
And this is the thing.
Other crime?
On that, I hear that, bro. I hear that. There are things we don't say on camera. However, but even when that is concerned, though, because like we have to look at when you say drugs, because and what is considered a drug. Just what I'm saying, because there are things that man would deal with because I don't consider it a drug. Just what I'm saying. So
that's your value system.
Yeah. I'm saying
your value system.
Is it like our community doesn't seem like same thing again about drugs? Like we don't consider some kind of criminality a criminal act.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we don't really think of it as a criminal act. We just think of it as just survival.
That's just normal. That's normal. Yeah.
So it comes back to again what you were just saying. What is a drug, or what defining what is a drug?
Right.
So
But coming back to the effects now, because that's where Raven's trying to go. Right. That's cool. Right. Because I feel like what's happening is. We're having a negative impact upon our own community. You know what I'm saying? So, there are elders in our community that are strung out. You know what I'm saying? It's not creating a positive relationship between the younger generations. In the sense of we've got people that their parents were friends, but they're in beef with each other in our communities. Just what I'm saying.
No codes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So this thing is definitely not having a progressive, and when there's violence in your community, it's almost impossible to develop it. It's almost impossible to progress because the youth them are experiencing constant states of first-hand or secondary trauma. And you just, I'm saying, it's impossible to develop in an environment like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I see it every day.
And I suppose in dealing with the effects, we can't deal with the effects without looking at solutions, but we just have to identify exactly what the condition is. Just what I'm saying, like what's actually going on out here.
Well, you've got people once they've hit that system, once they actually commit crimes and have been caught, it's very challenging for them to turn a new leaf. It's hard for them to get back onto work, so then they potentially go back, right? to what got them arrested in the first place.
Can I say? Because I think Beefy said this, yeah. Because I went to school in like East London, innit? Yeah.
Same here.
Right, and like white boys are on like East London is known for white boy gangsters, yeah. Like it's known for this thing, yeah. From the craze come straight down, it's known, yeah. Like and these white boys, yeah, like they're on the crowds, my G. Like them man, there, like I used to for 3 months, yeah. I did a brief stint as a fundraiser for a charity. You know, the one people that are on road, like get stand up and everything, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. For a brief period of time, you know what I mean? While I was signing on, right? What's it called? Right? But one of the superiors in the job here, he used to tell stories here about man that they were on the job, you know. But one guy came to work here in the summer with a big coat, and he's asking the guy like, why you got this big coat in the summer? It's Friday, yeah. On the weekend, my guy's gone to wherever to go shot, innit, yeah? But everything's in his coat, innit? Just what I'm saying. What happened, the coat got jacked or something. I don't know what the story was, yeah? And he got in some trouble for it, right? Now, but the point is that these are just some any ordinary white boys. And what Beefy was saying is true. Like, them man there, it's like, you've got mans that are what they call functioning drug addicts.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? In these communities, you know what I'm saying? And so there's a community there that if they go back off the rails, there's something for them to come back to. Yeah? And the issue is that because we're not self-sufficient in our community, there's nothing for us to come back to. There's no safe haven for the youth them that go off the rails. So when they go off the rails, they're subject to the system, the machination of the system, and if they're trying to come back on the so-called straight and narrow, they're still subject to the system. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no escape from the system, right? You know what I'm saying? And I think that as far as trying to solve the problem or looking at our community, what's deficient in our community, that's one of the major things. We have to have things for our youth to come back to that we own and control, you know what I'm saying? So that we know that they're safe here. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no safety from the youth that's trying to get out. You know what I'm saying? Like where they going? You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like
but without our community, it breaks down. Right?
Exactly.
We don't have that pillar. We don't have that structure. So I mean, I don't know if a solution was part of the talk today.
But it has to be, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
It's our corner.
Yeah.
We have to be proactive.
There you go.
Are we not focused on the effects right now?
Yeah, go on.
So, what are the effects of crime then, in the black community?
Yeah, I'd say the rundown of the degradation of our community, in terms of the actual physical condition of our areas.
Okay.
Distrust.
Let's do it simply with drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it with drugs.
Right.
Crime. There's so much.
Right.
There's so much different types of economic crime
Yes.
that some of us may not even be aware of. Different ways we can make money.
You know.
Come to me later on, and I got you.
That you mean. Them white collars, you get me?
You know.
Them white collars, you know what I mean? But yeah, what was the question?
And white gloves.
Yeah, indeed.
And white collars and white gloves, G.
So what
Marcos Galvin would say.
Focus on the drug angle.
Yeah, so like with the drugs, we can see, as you're saying, a lot of black people inside of our community are strung out on drugs. These are one of the some of the effects. Others is to do with stabbings that's been going on.
Yes.
As well. What else, man? Talk to me. What else been going on?
I'd say because one of the things that happened in the 90s with the jungle era.
Hold on. And what's a single parents? Young mothers.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the young bucks will be using these girls, get them pregnant, get a house, get a girl house within the house. Yeah. Why the baby's there like a man? But yeah. Some of the little things. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say mental health.
Yeah. Mental health.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the skunk era had a big effect on a lot of men out here, fam. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of men in the 90s did not know what they were smoking. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, just did not know. Yeah, like when I think the skunk that came with the jungle era and them kind of things there, a lot of men went to the madhouse for what they were smoking there. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like definitely the mental health of a generation was negatively impacted by
school dropouts.
Yeah, I would say more school exclusion. I don't know too many men that dropped out. I know men that were excluded. They were thrown out.
Then the guy who was stabbed on the bike recently. young.
Yes.
He was a salute.
Yeah, you know.
So this is
I don't know. There's a strong dropout rate. I know there's a strong throwout rate in our community. I don't know anybody. I know man that didn't come to school certain time, but I don't know anybody that just I'm not guy in school at all ever.
To be honest, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know anybody that did that. You know what I mean?
There used to be like, a lot of like, because like you were saying, from East London, innit?
Yeah.
I'm from East London.
Right.
And there was like a school, like most of the schools, they turn it into an academy.
Yeah. Now,
And, like, you
yeah.
get, what do you call it? A lot of like kids like getting excluded.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, like most of them were like black. You know?
Yeah.
And you just wondered, I used to wonder to myself, then where's the kind of, you know, like someone to help them out?
Yeah.
It's like they just told them, look, all right, you're excluded, that's it.
Yeah.
Throw them out to the wolves, you know, and that's it.
That's it.
That's why then they become criminals.
Yeah.
And you wonder why,
Yeah.
Like and around my area, they used to like close down.
Yeah.
They closed down, I think there was like 2 or 3 community centres. And they closed them down and you wonder, okay.
Yeah.
You have these kids doing this stuff, and you know,
Well,
and then you're gonna blame it on the parents. The parents are doing their bit, but you, as the people outside, you're not doing nothing at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you know,
Whereas every other community is like, my friend here, one of my friends from Italian, he said that if there was a problem from the grassroots all the way high up here, they had something structured.
Where's he from?
Went outside the boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from Somalia, where you know, like it's like the whole tribalism system, you know, and it's like I'm all about unity, but you get like certain Somalis here that are like, I want to. It's like, what tribe are you from?
Yeah.
I go, brother, no, it's not about tribe.
Yeah.
You're Somali, I'm Somali. What country do you know that have got the same language, the same religion, the same? Yeah, they at war. 30 or like 3 decades of war.
Yeah.
For what reason?
Mad thing.
It's a mad thing. And
yeah.
you wonder why we have problems.
You made an interesting point, and I maybe one of the effects that we're probably not speaking about is actually the degradation of our community, because one could argue that we had more of a semblance of community in previous generations.
Yeah.
This what I'm saying.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So maybe
you had to stick together, man.
So maybe our community, one of the effects is the breakdown of our community. The fact that we have less of a community.
This is what I wanted to talk on. So we could talk on one level, like for one generation, what effects happening on this generation.
Right.
But then what's going to happen to the following generation?
Right.
That comes in.
I fear for the youth, then, Maggie.
You dig?
Yeah, and I got one of them now, so it's personal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, yeah.
So now we know this. So we know, the effects.
Yeah.
We've spoken on that. Solutions. It's now time for the solutions. Because we got all these...
You start by saying there is no community, right?
Yeah.
So there has to be an active plan to build that. So communities are a collection of activities. People come together, they know each other, right?
Yeah.
So how do we facilitate that? Say say London, for example. Right? Yeah. How do we do this? What do we do?
For me, the plan is to start off. If you're going to do it on like a national scale, right, or across London, I would say start off by targeting particular boroughs. So there's roughly about 32 to 33 different boroughs within the 32 boroughs, right? 32, excluding the City of London.
I can't remember.
I'm bad.
Where's the haka with it, man?
Yeah.
Roughly 32. There's roughly 32 different districts, and there's the metropolitan central. Yes, my brother. Come on, you. Yeah. So, got a 32 different boroughs. I will go into, I will start choose one particular borough, and then go for various different wards within inside of that borough. So let's just say, I don't know, where you lot, East London.
Yeah.
What borough is that? I know this.
Newham.
Yeah. Choose one. Newham, and then let's say how many different wards are there in Newham?
Wards?
Yeah, wards. Manners, wards.
It's Manners, right?
No, but it's actually the proper name is called wards. So there might be like 5 different wards within inside of a particular borough itself. So what I would do is actually set up some type of community base inside of every single one of those boroughs, inside of those wards. You think what I'm saying? And then you can kind of like have like town, what's it called, like meeting halls, where you can kind of gather up people to come in and say like, we're trying to build a community. What is necessary? What problems do we need to actually solve? And get those people who are most, are most fitting to do it. So they've got certain skills to actually facilitate those things.
You've said something. You've identified particular things.
Yeah.
So the particular
Sorry, bro,
thing,
you're kind of tall, you're blocking at the light.
Yeah,
you're
looking like,
showing off with the height and that.
I'm supposed to be the light.
So that's the thing, like identifying what kind of skills benefit a community.
Yeah.
Right? I guess setting people off to actually go and do those kind of particular things, right?
Yeah.
Now, what skills actually benefit the community? What skills do we need to know to make a community thrive?
Yeah, I think that at this stage, the particular kind of skills relate to it's a specific skill set that is designed to manage the realities of what's happening in terms of what we call criminality in our community. Yeah? So this is not this goes beyond social work. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a specific kind of skill set which people call intervention, gang intervention, and that kind of thing. Yeah, which people are doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going into this field myself and working with a brother called Twilight Bay, right?
That's Twilight Bay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He's big in this thing, but there are others. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like there are groups in our community that are trying to do some good work, and I feel like the solution begins or is developed by supporting those groups and making the community aware of them. Just what I'm saying. So finding ways to increase the resources and reach of the people that are already doing the work. It's like because they're already on it with meager resources, and people are committed to their thing where they ain't got nothing. They're not being paid, but they're doing it. Just what I'm saying. So and they've got track records. So the evidence of their work can be shown. Their dedication can be shown. You know what I'm saying? But it's just because of resources, we're not having the impact that we want to have. You know what I mean? So I'd say, make more people aware. Like last year, a number of rights and passage programs were brought to the attention of our community through the Voice newspaper and a couple other institutions. Yeah. So like Origin, rights passage program in South London, Manhood Academy for Boys. They all these in the space of about 2 months had big newspaper articles in major newspapers, and our community began to know about them when they probably wouldn't have known about them before. That's just awareness. Yeah. Now it don't mean that the institutions themselves are therefore blessed with the greater resources to take on 100 youths where they only had 10 before. That doesn't necessarily mean that, but it does mean that awareness. Like a lot of people are not even aware that there are these programs. You see what I'm saying? So. But that's evidence of the point that we don't have a community, because if we had a community, we'd be aware.
That's what I'm saying. Like, for me, you have to set up a community base in each of those different wards.
Yes.
Right? And over, particular borough, we have like the grand community thing that's overseeing all these things. But then you need to create a council, just like how you have like, the parliament today. You have different, ministers for different things. Or different, what's the word, man? Talk to me. What am I missing my words today? Like, you got Department of something, Department of War, Department of this, Department of that.
It's a council.
Yeah, you have your council. So if you can set something like that up, right, and they themselves have their own departments that they can focus on to get what they need to get.
And that's been tried, that has been tried a few times. Like back in the day, there was an attempt to set up the African United Action Front. Back at one point, members of the nation were trying to set up the Black United Front Parliament. The concept is exactly what you're saying. There was another one. There's another one.
So what happened to them? Why did they fail?
A number of different things.
Why did they fail?
The last one was I was a member of the Interim National African People's Parliament. Trying to do a similar thing. Basically, the long and short of generally speaking, why is that contention kind of develops between people that are trying to organise. And then because maybe issues are not resolved, things break down. You know what I'm saying?
So ninja mentality.
Say again?
Ninja mentality.
Either that or genuine issues that are just unresolved. Like it's like a marriage. Like sometimes you're not wrong, I'm not wrong. We just got issues that we just haven't resolved.
No, it's still ninja mentality, because my brother would come in straight away and be like, conflict resolution, baby. Conflict resolution.
I hear that.
Yeah, so real quick.
I hear that.
But, a universal code of conduct, maybe. Like, there is a collective clash of cultures, maybe. I don't know. Without going into the details of all these different things, to me, it's like, and that's probably why I started where I started, in the sense of the fact that if I know that there's a group of people
that have been working together, and I've been doing it for a number of years. I know that it's easier to support them in what they're doing than to try and create something new sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just what I'm saying, like, and maybe I'm battle worn and just jaded by the experiences that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? The things that I've seen, you know. But yeah, it's a mad thing. You know what I mean?
So is this any initiative that we can start here from Speaker School?
I think so.
Yeah, well, I think this is part of it.
I think this is it.
I think this is part of it, because I've mentioned some of these things before, but I feel like just again, awareness is a big thing, you know. Like, you know what I'm saying,
and it's gonna bleed into the media question at some point.
Just what I'm saying, like the awareness thing is so very important.
Awareness, but I think that comes later on. That comes part of the marketing plan. You get?
Yes and no.
Because what you need is a community base, right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be like the problem solvers or finding out research.
Hold that.
Not on my head.
Yo, Quentin. You have to dip into the Bentley fund right now, you know.
Everyone at home, we might have to start contributing
to the Bentley fund, yeah. So yes, get some super chats on this live right now, because the Bentley fund's gonna need it.
Is there live going on right now?
Yeah.
Yo,
where's Leon? No, it dropped. You know, that might be gone.
No, it dropped.
Oh right.
Okay, it's cool.
It's a sturdy battery. It's a sturdy light, boy. Right.
Yeah. The standard. It's too high. That's right.
Yeah, big up content. Content bought the sturdy stuff. You get me? The heavy duty equipment and that.
Mouse shouting, slow motion.
Yeah.
Can we ask for some money?
Yeah, Bentley fund. Put, you know what I'm saying? Put, you get me. Go, that's your.
Yeah.
It's
a content or to you? Anyways, this is our corner. We don't want anybody else to
interrupt. No segregation.
Thank you. Yeah. No, you can't join, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you can't join. This is for Afro-Caribbean people and African and Caribbean people who relate as African and Caribbean first rather than anything else first.
I don't know this.
And plus, you're in the light. You're in the light.
Back and forth.
You're in the light.
All right, okay.
No, you're in the light. You're in the light, B. You're in the light. Like, now you're in the camera right now. You're in the camera. DJ Rizza, check to see if it's all good, right?
Come here.
No, check to see if we're all good. Yeah.
Everyone in? Yeah. Alright, so you were talking about solutions though.
Yeah. So, solutions.
Yeah, you were saying. What, escape at first.
Is it good now?
Lucky I'm getting a phone call.
Yeah, that's good. God. Yeah, God saved us. God saved us all. God saved us all from these people. Go on, what were we saying?
You were saying, yeah, so it's possible from Speaker's Corner to actually galvanize the people, whatever it is.
We don't need plenty of people, you know.
No, yeah.
It's like starting a business. Yeah. Like, you just need the company. Could be like 3 people, directors that's dealing with what needs to be done, and then you simply employ the people for the different departments and roles that they need to fill. You dig what I'm saying? And before that, you got your capital, your seed fund, so you can, however much money you got in the bank, or how much money you could finance, take 5 bags out, one person, 5 bags out, 5 bags, that's 15 bags, and we can start something real easy.
Every collective movement is position played, right?
Yeah.
I suspect amongst us 3 here, 4, we might not be able to fill certain positions, right?
Yeah.
So it must be a call out to certain skills that other people have that can actually fill certain places that is necessary for the community.
Yeah.
Right? So thousands of people are also on there, right?
Yeah.
And thousands of people will be like Googling and YouTubing to find what we're talking about. So what positions are there that's necessary?
I think that there is a sit-down conversation where you can literally say, I don't know if any of us has done this before, but for example, we construct an invite, basically, like how can I put it now? Today.
That's where you say the word and ask for the word.
Today,
Invite.
No, it's not invite though.
Right.
It's not invite. Okay, you see when you go like Read or any other job websites, right? And then you got like an invite or proposal to say like, I want you to work for us. Here are the job description. Here's the role. This is what we need you to fit. What experience have you got? Anybody could write something like that.
Job description.
Yeah, job description basically, and then post that out on job websites as well as via content or other places, so they can fill those posts.
But right now, I think we'll have to have a conversation to describe what might be needed.
Yeah,
so
that's something
I'll give you an example. Yeah,
that's something that the directors would have to do.
Yeah,
they would have to have first of all, not even just that, they would need to have like the vision, what they're trying to achieve. What is the plan that they're trying to get?
One of the things that I've seen in the last few years that has given me some cause for hope is that I've seen sisters come together and they're forming something new, but they seek expertise from other brothers who they know have been doing their thing. So they're not necessarily going to join exactly what they're doing, but they're saying, listen, we need you to train us in this particular discipline.
That's called,
this is what I'm saying.
What's that? Badging. There's actually a word for that.
Word for it. Okay, I don't know what the official terminology is. You know what I'm saying, but I know brothers and sisters that are doing that. So they started an organisation. But they need to develop their own skill set in a certain way. So they reach out to another organisation to say, listen, are you able to train us in this? Right. That's what I'm saying. So that we can then skill ourselves to be able to perform this function. There's more of us doing this work. And I feel like once like that begins to start happening more, and then on the other hand, I've seen other people that were doing the work. They're trying to expand their team now. You know what I'm saying? And so they're trying to spread out their wings. Right, there we go. That's the word. Yeah. So and I'm seeing that more happening. So it does suggest that there is some semblance of a community kind of ethos. Even if not a fully fledged community, but the ethos is developing whereby we can structure a community because we're linked up just by the work that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And the shared ideals through which we're doing the work. You know what I mean? I've been given heart by that recently, so I do want to mention that. You know what I mean?
I mean, and in the comment section, right, we'll go and read. But if there's anything we're missing, or anything that's going on that we're not part, because what we're saying is there's things going on that we are missing, right? And now we're trying to like literally connect all the dots together. Right, so if there is meetings going on that is discussing stuff, we want to go, and we will actually get content to cover it. I mean that would be a great idea, wouldn't it? Get content to cover it. And I think this will be the thing.
So so I want to mention Manhood Academy for boys, Womanhood Academy for girls, Origin Rites of Passage program, Akua Rites of Passage program. There's a few others. I want to mention Unihood. I want to mention our Cable Academy of Excellence. I want to mention the Africa Bantu Saturday School, Ma'at Academy of Excellence. I want to mention Nubia Community Foundation Saturday School. You know what I mean? There's a few others. You know what I'm saying? But these are just institutions, that you know what I mean. I want to mention Social Solutions Institute. I want to mention Amenoir Consultancy. You know what I'm saying? You know, like these are people that are just doing works, innit? And
shout out to Amenoir.
You don't know. You know what I mean? my brother. You know what I mean? So and last year, in fact, there was actually an event called Indaba, whereby it was a gathering of rites of passage programs in the UK, Canada, and the United States, just coming together to share theory and practice in delivering rites of passage programs. And you know what I mean? So I'm just saying that there are certain things happening that are positive. You know what I mean? And we may not be big enough to have the impact that we want to have right now, but obviously, we start where we are at, and we do what we can where we are at. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen some works that I appreciate, so we give thanks to them.
I'm trying to find if there's any apps that people can install. There was one app I installed. Have you got this one?
Marifa.
Yeah, Marifa.
Yeah,
Marifa Hub. I don't know any others. So Marifa Hub, right? This is an app. I don't know who made it. I would like to meet the brothers. But,
that's Nana, brother Nana. We got brother Nana. I know him still.
So if you go into the Play Store, MAARIFAHUB, Marifa Hub, and basically they've got all black events that's going on locally. You can find it in there. But if there is any kind of community meetings going on, we would love to invite content for them to film and for us actually to come down and actually document attempts at solutions for one of the big challenges we face in the community.
Yes, sir.
I guess it's the end of our outcome today. It's good to build the brothers, and we will read your comments. Anything you want to add to it, that's fine. And please come down next week. Can
we put a special invitation out to the sisters then? We don't want to be anywhere where we ain't got our sisters with us.
Exactly.
We want to encourage our sisters to come down and share in these conversations, especially those who are willing to come on camera. It's a thing, and we can see that, the spirit of Oya, you know what I'm saying, the deity of the breeze, the air, you know what I mean?
Shoe.
It's true. You know what I'm saying? You get me? You know what I mean? I'm saying you said shoe, not shoe. The breeze is blowing shoe. But I don't know if you not found this that a lot of the sisters they want to in the conversation, but they don't necessarily want to be on camera.
You know, it is this. I wasn't gonna make this a topic where it is, but there is when you start being a public speaking, you have to understand the whole troll backlash that affects people, like the whole.
And
And with women, it's more particular because they gun in on women particular stuff, right?
Definitely.
As men, or just me generally, it's nothing, it's normal, right? But to some people,
they don't want that kind of.
They don't want it, you know.
Right. Well, so maybe as brothers, we need to create a certain environment I don't know how much we can affect the troll culture.
No.
I don't know if we can affect that too much. But we have to create a certain environment of
They love this guy.
of safety. Huh?
They're a big fan of COE trolls. They're all over this guy stuff.
Well, I know the trolls love COE. I don't know what it is, fam. But I don't know what we could. Maybe that's a conversation we need. Because I saw the conversation last week as well in terms of how we protect our sisters there.
Yeah.
But maybe that's a conversation that we need to have as brothers. How do we create environments of safety?
Construct a different environment
for our sisters.
What I try to do is. What I try to do though is actually get a segment where women can stand, because some women they don't. Not that it happens in our corner, but you know when this kind got really heated, they don't like being like trying to bounce around and stuff. So it's trying to create an environment. Boy, the sisters are coming.
And you know what Jesus said? Be still.
So
you don't be witnessing miracles, but you know ain't testifying.
I've seen it.
They ain't testifying. Come on,
we definitely want more women to come down, and also we want suggestions for topics.
Yeah.
Definitely in the comments. If whatever you want to talk about, put in there, or even come down and we can discuss it.
What's the email that they can send the
Oh, it's I should know it off. Let me look at my phone. I'm bad, right? I think it's alcorner2018@gmail, right? I'm a bad guy, you know.
So who's that one? The new one, 2019.
No, I had to do it by date because I had to do it by date.
You got to do it to 2000 and beyond.
I should have done it still. Let me tell you what, it's Al Corner 2018. But that's when it was started. That's why it's important. You see that? Intelligent! Yeah. So anyway, Al Corner 2018@gmail.com. Give us any suggestions there, and then it's a wrap really again.
Yeah. And don't forget to, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. It's that simple.
And the share button,
the like button,
and everything.
And then of course, right, like content, has got the lights out right now. That's making us be seen, being visible on the camera itself. That's real important. But you lot have seen what's just happened.
He needs wind.
But you seen what just happened, right?
Yeah.
You see what just happened. The wind came and it blew everything down.
Act of God.
Right now, he needs some clamps.
That's right.
Some clamps to hold this down.
That's right.
So if you can, benefit the brother, so we can benefit you.
That's right.
Please hit up the donate button down below. The super chat, hit it up, or whatever he's got.
All of that.
Make sure you support. Yeah. Support, baby. Support.
Support Titans TV.
Man.
Support the Melanin Mountain.
And support Gotkush TV, baby.
TV.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? It's going down. Yeah, fam.
Gotkush TV, that's one of the inspirations right there.
Yeah, we love it.
Trust me.
As his Titans, as his content.
Oh,
you know what I mean? We love it, fam.
Gotkush TV put me on my game. I was like, nah, fam, you can't take over. What you trying to take over? What you trying to do? I had to come up. Y'all getting too much beautiful footage.
It's positive competition.
Trust me.
Positive competition.
Hey.
That's how we like it. We
love Gotkush TV, man.
I think content's putting everyone to shame right now.
Yeah. What's about HMB TV? Is it HMB TV?
Yeah.
My guys
he's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Black Eyes.
Yeah. Black Eyes TV. Come on. Can't forget Black Eyes TV.
We're doing our thing, family.
Dalian and Dolfo as well. Come on.
I got a live chat coming with Dalian on the 28th. Yeah, I think it's 28th. Tuesday evening.
Jeez. Yeah. That's going to be big.
That's going to be big, so stay tuned.
All right. Thank you. Al Corner. Boom.
What you not doing 12 o'clock run? The 12 o'clock run?
No, fam.
No, we said you want to do something.
No,
I need to. Oh, let me tear somebody's ass up.
Yeah. I could go home, I'm not lying. Where's the house though?
Content over everything. From your community. Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen.
I don't know how many layers, thousands of layers.
What they're showing him is his faith, as he understands, will dictate his answer. So he might not.
It's not me. It's not no personal opinion. I don't come and say,
so this is where you guys might differ because
that's what he wants me to get personal opinion. That's what he asks me. Do I like it? Right. But that's irrelevant. Even if you yes or no is irrelevant. It's not what I like. You know what I'm saying? You want my personal opinion. I can't give that. You can keep asking questions to personal opinions.
What if that's